Hi there guys, it's Mataba 247, the right woman for the job. By now you should know if I'm starting any video with my brand bars, I'm about to drop some real gems. This will be no different. However, there will be a few nuances as I'm not talking about data privacy, I'm not talking about impact investing, nor am I talking about the fourth industrial revolution, which are primarily my main point of content. However, I want to talk about something more important than money in my opinion. What could be more important than money? You might ask. I'll get into that in just a jiffy. Firstly, I have to send my acknowledgement and appreciation to everybody who's been in my DMs asking about the Survive and Thrive series. It's still on. Certainly will be loading the England episode. It's looking hella funny, and that's what you should expect from Banyana Pitori, which is K&I. So I should have it hopefully by the end of this weekend. I do duly apologize for the delay. With that said, on that particular day, I got, my DMs suddenly got interesting. I got a number of DMs, even comments on the video that I posted, where I big up to DJ Jaws and my sister-in-law, Tumi, who asked, why are you not on TV, right? Just to give you a bit of background, I do have a beautiful body of work as a broadcast journalist. I've worked with big brands like the SABC, Big Dog Productions, Blue Boy Productions, Red Cherry Media, and so forth. However, I've been blessed with success and I've known that. I've also known that I was a broken person, and if I thrusted myself into the media industry prematurely or before I healed, it would firstly define me, then destroy me. And I'll take you back to the very night of my matric dance. DJ Spoo, big up to DJ Spoo, who was my matric dance date. I remember him asking me on our way back, because I'd given him this pitch about why I want to be on radio, ... And he asked me, why does it matter for you to be on radio? Why does it matter so much? And I remember just expressing myself that, look, I want to be the custodian of women heritage. I want to be the custodian of how we as women need to be self-preservant. And I want to share my story so that I could help other people to overcome what they're going through and potentially prevent them from going through what I went through. With that, I was talking about, I was sexually abused from the ages of 2 to about 9. My mom was in a very crazy relationship. Like, my parents were just like crazy out of it. I'm still haunted by memories of my mom walking for like 5 kilometers to the police station with an axe stuck to her head. I was a big baby and she was carrying me on her back, like I said, quite a distance. And the whole time, I'm still haunted by that memory where I'm just like touching her and I'm like, are you okay? And she like kept on trying to reassure me that I'm going to be all right, I'm going to be all right. And when we got to the police station, I remember her telling the cops before she passed out that, look guys, if I die, this is my daughter, her dad did this to me, he lives, right? And I didn't know what it meant then, but I knew that I don't want to lose my mom, right? With that said, my mom survived that shandies and we moved to Pretoria 97, which essentially was the catalyst of my life. And that's when I knew that my life has to matter somewhere, somehow. I have to connect my dots. And, growing up with a low self-esteem, you don't have the correct nose, you don't have the correct skin tone, you really don't have a lot of, self-love. And you almost become promiscuous because you searching for this, this thing called love that you should be giving to yourself, right? With that said, I started harnessing my creativity and my solution finding skills and just like my thought leadership by, going to radio stations, presenting a few inserts for a few radio shows. And I didn't know it then, but I was definitely working on my, strategy skills, right? I remember going to YFM with like presentations for the breakfast show, listening and, wishing I was with your Anissa, Udo Karelse, Tato Mataboge, people that I really identified with back then. And, growing up in Sunnyside also, gave me a front row seat to realizing what fame and, broken person can do. We grew up Rebonabo aus Vinola Mashego, may her soul rest in peace. She lived her life I remember bo Ishmael 999 coming through to go Carnalita, bo DJ Monde, DJ Dimple Zig, bo Kanunu, you know, that crowd, that era of being in Sunnyside, it was quite vibrant and dynamic. And I knew then that I certainly belong in, you know, in entertainment. However, with that said, I had to then define, do I want to be a celebrity or do I want to be a broadcaster? And, you know, when I went to Boston Media House, I made a couple of friends. And because I'm not from a wealthy family, I knew I had to start working immediately, which is exactly what I did. People don't know this, but my first job was actually with the channel 319, where I was a grade 11 and grade 12 maths and science teacher, the learning channel. Hence, I had a laugh with the recent debacle with the celebrities teaching digitally. But I mean, I did that in a different era, and we were almost like, you know, doing that for the niche, you know, DSTV kind of, you know, affording kind of high LSM, right? Different times altogether. But yeah, that is where my broadcast career started as my first job, not the SABC like most people think, right? And I remember just defining myself, you know, I used to work for Big Dog Productions. Like I said, I'd go to Vakamata and like host gigs. And I remember just like talking to myself on some, you don't belong here. You think you want to be here, but you don't belong here. And I'd really be so frustrated and miserable. I couldn't wait for the gig to end, right? With that said, I want to just talk to people about asking people, oh, you're so pretty, you should be on TV. Oh, you got such a nice body, you should be on TV. Nah, guys. The media industry is not a joke. The media industry is not a place for pretty people. The media industry is not a place for people with nice bodies. The media industry is for people who are journalists, who have a solution finding kind of brain, who are thought leaders, who are articulate, who are smart, who think on their feet. If you are going to tell people that they should be on radio or on TV because they're pretty, you're losing it. That's not the point. And I knew then that I had a very, like I said, tumultuous kind of past, and I could not thrust myself further into this beast. That's when I stopped being on TV. Not because I'm not dynamic, not because I'm not articulate, but because I needed my sanity. Everybody was trying to take a piece of me after being on SABC and so forth. I had to protect my sanity. Unfortunately for me, at the age of 21, just at the brink of my commercial success, I lost my mother, which was another big blow for me. I could not continue the way I had. I was tired of this fake smile that I had on my face that nobody could see was a fake smile. I had to essentially cut everybody off, and I was quite blessed to know a friend of mine, Tabo, known to you guys as Small, Mabokhwane from Black Motion. You know, we reconnected about 5-6 years ago, and I remember him saying to me, dog, you can't give up on yourself, man. I mean, I started Black Motion because I was inspired seeing you on TV. You know, Bonang was fucking, you were or rather on TV before Bonang, right? And that kind of hit. But I also knew that I'm not trying to be on TV to be seen. I really wanted to be on TV to make a difference, to impact people's lives. And I had to align myself before I could do that. And that's exactly what I've done. I have aligned myself in the past 5 years. I've aligned myself with my purpose. I've aligned myself with my actual value proposition. You know, a couple of years ago, if you were to ask me what's my value proposition, I'd be clueless because I just wanted to be on TV for the sake of it because I've got the body and the face, right? However, now things are different. People, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of kids out here calling themselves content creators. What content are you creating of your life? I mean, I've also been behind this, the camera where I write script as a production assistant. We can write scripts for people, but you have to write your own script as an individual. You know, if you ask me now, what are the challenges that we have, perhaps with ESGs, you know, like economic, social, and governance, I would, at the top of my head, you know, give you the challenges and the solutions. Not that they're right or they're low, but it's a progressive kind of thinking that I have learned over the years. Hence, I'm saying I first had to align myself, heal from my childhood trauma, heal from my teenage trauma, and the grief of losing my mother. If you don't have your value proposition in check, if you don't know what your content really is about, don't tell us about doing a quick video, editing, hoeing a song, and call yourself a content creator. My darling friends, create content for your purpose. What are you aligned with? Right now, like I said at the beginning of this video, my primary content points are impact investing, data privacy, and the fourth industrial revolution. Had you had this conversation with me a few years ago, oh crooks, smile. That's what I'm trying to say to you guys. You have to always protect your sanity. That's what I had to do. That's why I had to stop being on TV. It was too much. Everybody wanting a piece of you. And you guys know it's a slippery slope. You know, you'll find yourself doing drugs. The next thing you've messed up your life in a way that you can't recover from. Had I continued doing auditions, had I continued putting myself out there, I don't think you guys would be looking at this beautiful, dynamic, smart, and forward-thinking visionary of a woman, because I would have damaged my life so much. I would have damaged my sanity so much. I don't think I would have been able to bounce back. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Before we run after money, before we're trying to be relevant, in fact, if you're trying to be relevant, you shouldn't be in the media industry. You shouldn't. If your main issue is that, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my relevance. Listen, real natural born leaders don't seek for relevance. The real natural born leaders, they find relevance with every time when they speak, every time when people come around you, people feel good about themselves. People learn something from you. People understand that there's more to a woman than just their outside appearance. And that's what I'm appealing to you guys. Look, don't be telling your little sister and your little brother that you go for auditions because you're so pretty. Nah, we're not doing that, guys. That is not what is happening. We need people who are smart, people with empathy, people with vision. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? People who really know how to create content. It's seeing these online producers that we're finding. So I thought that was worth it. I answered you guys why I was not on TV. I'm glad to say I'm back, and I'm back to stay. And I'm not going to be going to some commissioning editor to ask them to do a gig for me or to, commission my show. No. I'm going to do things my way, because remember, like I said, there's a difference between being a celebrity and being a broadcaster. I'm a broadcaster. I'm a journalist to begin with. So I want people to understand that when people like me choose to step out of the game for a little while, it's not because I've fallen off the wagon. I'm working hard on my strategy. I remember when I started as an entrepreneur, I was selling sandwiches in the CBD of Pretoria. My high school friends used to laugh at me. I mean, this is after the fame of SABC and 319 and, Vodacom, Voda Ye, Voda Ha. And you're just like, oh my gosh, I have to pay my bills. And I'm not going to be sleeping around to pay my bills. I'm going to use my brains. And people were laughing at me. Subsequent to that, I became a microfinancer. And, people would laugh at that too. And I said, you know what? It's okay. I'm paying my bills. I'm paying everything that needs to be done. And I have a vision. That was my into the financial game. So essentially, I just want to tell people that, look, you don't have to run to the media. First, run to yourself. Put yourself closer to yourself, child, and make sure that you have enough self-love and self-sufficient understanding that you can then share yourself with the world. You don't want to find yourself in positions like what you do, when you're just famous and you're just like spoiled brat, drugs, and the next thing you mess up your life. The next thing so yeah, I hope that was worth it. Have yourself a great weekend, and yay, thanks for your 13 minutes of your time. Oh yeah, just a quick note, those HP t-shirts, guys, I'm not the connect for that. There are people that you could ask on Instagram if they could sell you the HP t-shirt personally. I just have it and I love it and I kept it, so I don't have a connect for that HP t-shirt. Perhaps speak to Leratolicious. She might have the graphics and get it printed and sell it to you guys. With that said, have yourself a great weekend. Stay home. Please do protect yourself from systematic fear. We grew up with so much fear that we don't want to come out. I'm calling out on all natural born leaders. If you know you're smart, articulate, and good at solution finding, you are the person who needs to be talking to me. With that said, cheers, bye.